Alright, today we're going to take a look at Closers Online. This is going to be a first look kind of deal, or if you should buy, if you should play this game. I will give the answers to both those questions at the end of it, but first we're going to talk about the game itself. Closers Online is a game that's been in development for a long time. It was actually released overseas a while ago, but here in the global or NA region, it is just now coming to its closed beta, and it's buy-in access only. So right now, I'm gonna play one of the characters, go over some of the concepts of the game, go over the gameplay itself, and kind of the ideas based around it. Closers Online is a 2.5D side-scrolling action romp. So if you're old enough to remember these games, it's like Streets of Rage, Final Fight, Double Dragon, all that kind of stuff, but with a lot more skills to use and a lot more things to do. Now, one thing that's always usually a turn-off for me in any kind of action game, especially the side-scrolling one, is a fatigue system. Can't stand it in Dungeon and Fighter, don't like it in Elsewhere, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't like it in this either. However, the fatigue system is pretty high capped, meaning it has a lot of fatigue to burn through if you're gonna want to do it. So if you're the type of person that wants to get into a game and simply go into it and play, you can do that with this game, but to an extent. As an adult, I don't like companies telling me how long I can play my games. I don't even like my work telling me I have to come in because I want to play games. So it's a bit of a thing. Now, one thing that's a huge turnoff, I will say from the beginning, is the account fatigue. So typically in a game you'd have fatigue on your character, so you can only do so much with that character before you can no longer play that character. This game has an account fatigue, which you can see above my my actual character, Monolith, of course. The account fatigue right there, I have 105 used of 2,380. So it's a high fatigue, but it's still a fatigue nonetheless. Now, like I said, if you just heard the gentleman, this is in closed beta access right now, and you do have to buy in to get into it. Some of it has not been fully translated yet. I'm pretty sure majority of the audio has not at all, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure it's all in its original language. Now, they do have a few closers that you can choose from. The roster is pretty decent. I did hop back to do a create a character for a second there, but I'm not going to go into all that. There is no customization when you create a character. You don't change any of their features or anything like that. So there's no point in going over the character creation. You have a short roster of characters you can choose from, 2 gentlemen and 3 ladies, and they all have different skill sets, different abilities. Now, the hub. This is what I find interesting. The graphic and art style of this game is pretty freaking amazing considering what it is. But I do like the fact that I can go pretty much anywhere you see on this hub, you can go. I can go all the way back here. I mean, obviously, I can't go into the establishments. That'd be a little bit too open world for this type of game. The quest system is set up generically just like any of the other 2D scrollers that actually have a quest system. Even Latel, you got your main hub, your main city. You can actually go to people and talk to them to get quests. That's just simple. With this particular game, though, it does get a little bit repetitive because the quests do have you bounce around back and forth between people. The same people, talking to them over and over and over again. Now, one thing I will give the game complete credit for, because I wasn't expecting it, is it takes itself pretty seriously, as in, I am a game, I'm here to actually be played, I want a player base, and I'm going to give y'all more than just action. Masse is the company that produced this game. I think I said that a little bit earlier, but just to reinforce that, they also have Kritika or Kritika, however you want to pronounce it, and Tera. Now, this game actually has places where you can enhance your gear. And yeah, you see that in other MMOs that do the 2.5D side scrolling or 3D side scrolling, whichever way you want to put it. But this goes in a little bit more detail, because not only can you enhance your gear in this game, you can enhance your skills. So your skills have something called an option slot. I'll show you. I go to my punch through. I already did this one, so I'm advancing it. I'll do this. Net grab. You see, advanced, expert, master. Once I master it, I can put an option there that'll do something for the skill. Like this, the crit damage boost, the physical or sonic crit damage boost. Those are 2 different types of damage, basically physical and magic, basically, if you want to just break it down like that. This option increases this on this skill specifically. It doesn't do it for all the skills, it only goes for the skill that you put it on. I have the same option here. Now, with that being said, I'm going to show you all some of the gameplay. I'm not going to go into too much detail about like the little things here and there, because you'll notice that that most of it will just kind of shine through as I'm playing and as I'm going through it. The map set up for the skill. Let's talk about the map real quick. This is your first HUD. You know, this is your first little hubble bubble. This is the first town you go to. This game actually has multiple. As you see, you have this person here take you to the next hub. She's the hub transport. The game is pretty expansive for the state that it's in, which is kind of surprising. Now, I'll say this before I actually do a map, do a solo run. It is kind of important if you're planning on purchasing this game and you don't have a key, see if you can get somebody to play it with you. You get bonus percentage, or bonus experience percentage for doing it with a party, so that kind of negates the whole fatigue. And the fatigue system is down here. So I'm already 1/5 of the way through my fatigue. That's because I was playing earlier today. I wanted to get to level 20 so I could show y'all pretty much everything. And on my account fatigue, I'm not even 1/5 there yet. I'm 1/5 of 1/5, if you will. But it would help if you're trying to power level, if you have someone to play with, because you can get that bonus experience and the fatigue doesn't seem like it's actually there. So with that being said, I would encourage you to kind of gather your friends to play this game. If you are fine with grinding solo, hey, that's fine. Speaking of which, there's another little interesting thing. They have a completion percentage on the map. So you have this map, and as you can see over here, recon, patrol, skirmish. You know, I've done recon and skirmish. I skipped patrol completely. Had I done patrol, I would have had 100% completion, and I can get a reward for simply completing the map fully. It's pretty neat. Now I'm going to go into a level. I'm going to go into one of the early ones. I'm just going to show you all some gameplay, show you how the game actually works out and how it plays out. It's very fast-paced. It's very obviously action-oriented, but it's one of the things I do love is how you chain skills together in this game. You actually can set it up where you have a combo continuously going, and this particular character has like a mock-up Dempsey roll, if you will. I can't actually barrel roll into people, but there's different little tips and tricks I can actually share, which I won't do on this video because that's not what this video is for. You may see me doing something, but I'm not going to explain it, like what I'm doing. But there are little tricks that you can get in there. Oh, I definitely do encourage, though, that you do run through this with some friends. But as you can see, this particular character is just hand-to-hand fighting. Now, one thing I will say that I'm kind of surprised about is the passive on this character. Every one of my active skills takes health instead of MP. I don't have mana. This character, Jay, does not have mana. That, if you're someone who loves to PvP, that's something that's kind of a high skill cap, to be honest. Because you have to figure out what skill you can use, if you have enough health to use it, if you have enough defenses to use that and still be able to take hits. And that's pretty important. I haven't really messed with any of the other characters too much, so this whole thing is going to be played through Jay. I'm going to be showing you... Sorry, I don't have the sound effects turned down, so I have to stop talking when that happens. I don't want you to miss anything. Anyway, I'm going to be showing you just the gameplay with him real quick, and then I'll go over a few more things before I end the video. One thing I do like is how dramatic it is. If you notice when the camera changes like it just did when I'm doing my combos, it's very, very dramatic. And when I get to the boss, I will do my ultimate attack, if you will, and show you exactly what I mean. Because it gets more and more dramatic as you progress through the game. Now, the game itself is currently running at $14.99, I do believe, if you buy it on Steam, and you can also go through the actual Unmasked website. Incredibly dramatic. Alright, now that that's done, I'll actually go into detail about what I was saying. The game itself is about $14.99 through Steam, and same on the Unmasked website. You can buy it at higher percentages or higher cost. Of course, obviously, you get bonuses for doing different ones. I'm going to touch on PvP real quick. I'm not actually going to do a match because at the moment, and this is important to note, there are not a lot of PvPers. So you'll basically be fighting the same person or the same group of people, same few people over and over again. Which can be frustrating because you want to fight new people or what have you, but it is still fun. But I also want to state that if PvP is your big thing for these type of games, I would hold off until the game is fully released or until the player base increases, because then you're not going to be getting what you want, honestly, because right now the PvP isn't as live or as hype as it could be. Now, should you play Closers Online? I'll put it pretty bluntly. Depending on your reason, yes and yes. And why I say that is because this game is a fun action romp. It's just fantastic. And it has a great introduction. The tutorial doesn't feel forced. You get through things. You actually get some pretty cool things. You get a pet right off the bat from the tutorial, which I need to hatch, but that's neither here nor there. And they give you some pretty cool clothes as well. None of this is the stuff that you start with. I ended up getting that through the tutorial. In addition to that, it is a low-cost game right now, and it is an MMO. So it is one of those things that when you purchase it, there are other people that will be in there with you. So it's not like you're just running through it solo. It does kind of play like a solo storyline game, which I can appreciate because there is actually a story to this game, which is fully explained in the beginning. Masse is pretty good about that when they put out games. Now, the only thing that I can say that is a hindrance to this game, in all honesty, well, the only two things. First is the fatigue system. That bothers me. It may not bother you. If it doesn't bother you, by all means, get into this game. It is a solid game, like a rock. Solid, I'm telling you. You can even be malfighting this. You really can't, but hey. And the release. What I mean by that is this game has been talked about for years. It has been talked about for a long time. It should have already been out. It's kind of having the same hiccup that Blade and Soul did. When the game was first talked about, it was years before the game actually came out. So that's kind of peeved a lot of people. I went ahead and got into it because I wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see if it was good. I wanted to see if it was something that had been worth waiting for. And to me, it is. So I encourage all of you to at least give this game a try. Give it a shot. Look up some videos on the gameplay. I'll even post up some for y'all later and get you some more insight and tips and tricks on what to do with this game. But guys, should you play Closers Online? Definitively, yes. I believe you should, and I hope that I see more people in. I hope to see you all there. I'll have a bunch of characters to play with you guys, and if you want to link up, just drop your name in the comments. You want to see a specific video about the game? Drop your name in the comments. Let's go. Tell me what you want to see. I'll be happy to put it out there for you. As always, have a good day, morning, noon, or night, and a good jo-ho-ho in your day somewhere. Maybe some coffee if you like that sort of thing. We all know I do. I'll catch you guys later.